Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is May 7th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1957, the man with the chain, Hercules Hernandez. 1965, the King of Hearts, Owen Hart. 1970, a member of the Samoan family, L.A. Smooth. And last but not least, 1993, England's own Will Ospreay. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for May 7th. Two luchador legends today. First, 2016, Kato Kung Lee. And second, 2017, Gran Apache. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for May 7th. Jumping in the Wayback Machine and going all the way to 1914 to see Stan Zbyszko defeat Americus Gus Sholin to win the World Heavyweight title in Kansas City, Missouri. Hitting super fast forward all the way to 1948, Danny McShane defeats Miguel Guzman for the Texas Heavyweight title in Houston, Texas, ending Guzman's second reign. Jumping 6 years to 1954, Bull Curry defeats Ray Gunkel to win the NWA Texas Heavyweight title in Houston, Texas, ending Gunkel's third reign. Moving to 1955, Lord James Blears and Gene Knitsky defeat Ben and Mike Sharp for the San Francisco NWA World Tag Team titles. Grooving into the 60s, 1964, Louis Tillett defeats Jerry Kozak to win the NWA Texas Junior Heavyweight title in Austin, Texas, ending Kozak's second reign and beginning Tillett's second. Making our last stop in the 60s, 1967, Vento Castilla defeats Karloff Lagarde for the NWA World Welterweight title in Mexico City, Mexico, ending Lagarde's second reign. Grabbing our best polyester suits and going to 1970, Jerry Christie defeats Abdul the Butcher for the Stampede North American Heavyweight title in Calgary, Alberta. This began Christie's second reign and ended Abdullah's third. Staying in 1970, Terry Funk defeats Ricky Romero for the NWA Western States Heavyweight title in Amarillo, Texas. 1975 sees George Goulas and Jerry Jarrett defeat Don and Ron Wright for the NWA Tennessee Tag Team titles in Nashville, Tennessee. At the same event, Luke Graham wins the NWA Mid-American Heavyweight title from Don Kent. 1976, the Super Destroyer defeats the mighty Canadian Gene Knitsky to win the Amarillo NWA International Heavyweight title in Amarillo, Texas. Making two stops in 1979, Bill Dundee and Robert Fuller defeat the Assassins in a loser leaves town match in Memphis, Tennessee to win the AWA Southern Tag Team titles. Our second stop in 1979, Blackjack Mulligan wins his second Amarillo NWA International Heavyweight title in Odessa, Texas, ending Dory Funk Jr.'s third reign. Grabbing our boomboxes and going to the 80s, 1981, Rufus R. Jones defeats Bobby Jaggers for the NWA Central States Television title in Kansas City, Kansas. The next year in 1982, Timothy Flowers and Adrian Street defeat Chris Adams and Ringo Rigsby to win the NWA America's Tag Team titles. In his first title defense, NWA World Champion Kerry Von Erich pinned Terry Gordy to retain the title in 16 minutes and 17 seconds. On the same show, Killer Khan defeat Kelly Knitsky for the World Class Television title. Staying in 1984, Tommy Gilbert defeats Johnny Rich to win the NWA Southeast United States Junior Heavyweight title in Alabama. 1985, Jerry Osk defeats Randy Savage to win the AWA Southern Heavyweight title in Louisville, Kentucky. 1987, Kid McCoy defeats Steve Gray for the British Lightweight title. 1989, WCW, under the NWA banner, held the first annual Wrestle War pay-per-view event, subtitled Music City Showdown. Of course, this would be the end of the Ric Flair-Ricky Steamboat feud, when Ric Flair pinned NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ricky Steamboat to win the title. Those were your pro wrestling history highlights for May 7th. I'm the Eclectic Gentleman, Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.